Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to this MCTV Sports production of high school basketball. We are coming to you from the campus or the gymnasium of Burlingame High School, where the Panthers are hosting the Mills Vikings. Hello, everyone. I'm Kenny Milch alongside my broadcast partner, Drew Petiti. And Drew, this is a big game for both teams, two very talented teams. What can we expect tonight?
We can expect a lot of up and down from Burlingame and Mills. Mills extremely fast team. Burlingame has some very talented players, and you should expect some really hard-nosed defense. It's senior night, and a lot of emotion here, and a good crowd on hand.
8 seniors for Burlingame, 4 of them starters. For Mills, 7 seniors on the roster. 2 of them are starters, as they just finished announcing the starting lineup for the Mills Vikings and their head coach, Rick Hansen. He'll go with Matt Wong, Joseph Werku, Sereno Espinilla, Marquise Adkins, and Jeremy Gibbs. For Burlingame and their first-year head coach, Pete Hseih, he's going with Mikel Flora Cruz, number 10, who they just announced. Also, number 21, Connor Hout, who is the captain, and he is a three-point shooting specialist. He can hit it from all over the place, Drew.
65 degrees on the year, one of the leaders in the section.
At one forward, you've got Will Dobson, number 40. At the other forward, Tyler Parati, number 41. And in the middle, the 6'7" junior, Nick Lowe, number 44. He is a beast inside, Coach.
Averaging 11.9 points on the year. Inside presence, very difficult to guard. Mills is one of the keys tonight for Mills. They talked about trying to stop Lowe, maybe doubling down to the post a little bit. Try to keep Connor Hout under control, which is going to be a very difficult thing to do. So it should be a great game.
Coach Hseih is assisted by Rob Enos, George Grismore, Rich Haragi, and Steve Castle. The statisticians, Tyler Jamison. The manager is Ethan Castle. Head coach Rick Hansen is assisted by Antonio Dillon, Bill Nicolay, and Justin Yim. Getting set for the national anthem. Let's pause and listen in. Checking the PAL South Division standings, the Burlingame Panthers are on top, undefeated at 9-0, followed by Aragon at 7-2, and then comes Mills at 6-3. So we've got 2 of the top 3 teams in the PAL South Division on display tonight, Coach.
And Mills knows that if they want to make the PAL tournament, they need to win at least one of their next 2 games. They have a couple of teams on their tail, and it's a big game tonight.
Top 4 from the South make it. They'll play the top 4 from the North. The higher seed or the higher placing team is at home. Right now, Burlingame is at home. We're set for action. Matt Diddy will throw it up. The other officials are Scott Rotier and Eric Sitt. And Lowe controls the tap for Burlingame in white, moving left to right across your TV screen. Mills in their scarlet and gold. moving right to left. Inside, that's low. He can't get it to go, and there's a rebound to Adkins, and here comes Matty Wong. We talked about Haupt, a hot shooter and scorer for Burlingame. You can't forget about Matty Wong.
Matty Wong, very good point guard. He's playing about 70% tonight. Has a sprained ankle. Coach is really concerned about how he's going to play. Is he going to be able to play full out?
Looked a little awkward on that one. That's Joseph Worku with the steal, and he's fouled by Lowe. And that's a quick foul by Lowe, and if you're Coach Haramis, you don't want him getting in foul trouble early. Mills is a little bit hobbled. In fact, Wong's ankle, Tion is sick, Worku is sick, he's playing and starting. Espinia's got a hurt finger. They were all questionable. They're all suited. I don't think they're going to miss a game like this.
Well, not only that, they played their whole season not even in their home gym, so they've had quite adversity this year, gone through a lot of things.
Interesting here, a lot of pausing. Adkins just had it out top, and it was like they're playing a soft man, and they were just waiting till the shot clock. I don't know. Do you understand what's going on there, Coach?
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see. It's really try to figure it out as well.
Lowe was guarding Adkins, and he was down at the free throw line, and Adkins was way out by the center circle, and nobody was moving, and it was like there was a pause, but the clock was rolling. I don't know, I haven't seen that before.
Well, I wonder if Burlingame, Pete talked about, Coach Ramus talked about these guards from Mills are extremely quick, and they got to try to stay in front because they play good position defense.
We said Wong's the leading scorer. He's got the ball, and he's off balance. There's Gibbs from three. Almost got it. Gibbs, despite his size, is a good outside shooter. The transfer from Sarah. They try to go inside to Lowe. There's a nice cut off the ball. Can't get it as Dobson, and it goes to Mills.
Mills is doing a good job early on Lowe, and that's one of the keys. They really need to contain him. He is bigger than anybody on the court. He's got some really nice low post moves. Draws a lot of attention.
Here's Joseph Worku. Worku is a 6'2" junior.
Now, if you pressure Mills a lot, they are going to go back door. So Coach Haramis, they are playing fairly soft.
There's your back door. Worku can't get it with the left hand. Battles for the rebound. Already a substitution. Robert Nolan into the game. Wong is out. Three-pointer by Worku, no good. So Matty Wong is sitting at the end of the bench, nursing that sore ankle. He tried to give it a go. We don't know if we're going to see him the rest of the night if he's out this early.
That could really hurt. He is by far the best player.
That's Connor Haupt with the bucket. The first score of the game, and the Panthers lead at 2-0. It took them 2.5 minutes to score, though, Coach.
The thing with Mills, though, they can score in spurts. They like to shoot a lot of threes. Rick Hansen says one of his best three-point shooting teams. They've hit average about 7 to 8 threes a game.
There's Worku with the drive. He's fouled. He'll go to the line. You know, with Wong on the bench, last Friday they played Aragon, and we know how strong the Aragon Dons are. And without Matty Wong, they only lost by 4 points.
And one of the keys, they lost to Sequoia early on, a couple of weeks ago, and that was a same thing. Matty Wong didn't play, and it was one of those games where they had a lead, and all of a sudden, they got a little comfortable, and it got away from them.
Worku makes both free throws. We're tied at 2. These two played on January 18th at Cappuccino. Burlingame won that first meeting 68-54. There's Haupt. Contact, no call. Worku with the rebound. Worku's been active so far. He's going to have to carry the scoring load. Pulls up from three.
There's their first three.
Worku went to Taylor Middle School, and nobody worked harder when he was in middle school. Every morning before school, at recess, at lunch, after school, he was out on the yard playing. Nice pass from Lowe to Dobson, and it's 5-4, but Worku really did work at it. He's got a great work ethic, if he will.
Now Mills runs a lot of sets. They try to spread you out a little bit so they can get to go to the basket, drive and kick. Now they do have some very good shooters on the floor.
That's Nolan going against Haupt. That's Adkins and now Werku. Werku drives and more contact, no call. Werku's all taped up. He's got his thumb taped up. He's got his pinky and his ring finger taped up. He also was under the weather this week. There's Nolan. Back to Werku, another three. And he's fouled. He'll shoot three, and that's the second foul on Lowe for Burlingame.
Well, that could be trouble for Lowe. For Burlingame, you get Lowe out of the game, and they have other people, but again, he's one of their key players.
Could open things up in the middle. Werku misses after hitting his first two. Werku's got all 5 points for the Vikings. He's now 2 of 3 from the line. Make it 3 of 4. One boys score to report from the north, an important one. El Camino beat Half Moon Bay 60-53. El Camino, just like Burlingame, undefeated in league in first place.
Well, it just sizes up for a great county tournament. You got the north and the south. The top 2 teams are very good teams. We'll see if they can survive.
Out with a new substitution, replacing Lowe. Underneath, that's Chris Graham, a 6'4" senior. Once again, it's senior night, 8 seniors on the squad for Burlingame, 4 of them starters. Graham not one of them. Watch out for Haupt, the inbounder. Here he comes in the corner, and he drains it. It doesn't matter how many times you've seen that out of bounds play, if your players are not aware, it's deadly.
That's got to be frustrating for Coach Hansen, because those are the kinds of things that you got to try to eliminate.
And that bucket gave the Panthers the lead, 7-6. Werku trying to do it. There's Gibbs and Nolan. Nolan, foul on a drive. That's a 4th team foul in Burlingame. Mills has not committed a foul yet.
Well, that could help Mills if they can get Burlingame in the foul trouble, because Burlingame is very aggressive and very physical. Might be able to get on the line.
Marquise Adkins, 6'1", sophomore, the only sophomore on the roster. Matter of fact, the only sophomore suited up tonight, number 33 with the ball right there for Milch. His little brother right here is helping us out on stats. Julius Adkins, 7th grader. He's helped by Nick Broqua. Here's Burlingame back the other way, that's Haupt. Can't get the banker to go. Rebound, there's a steal by Nolan. Mills right where they want to be early. Didn't want to have a flurry by Burlingame and find themselves down big early.
Well, they're controlling the game in the half court. They're taking good shots. They're being very patient, running their sets. That's what they need to do.
5 up, looks like a high pick and roll with Werku and Gibbs.
And Burlingame will trap the ball screens.
Gibbs likes to shoot threes. There's Espinilla, baseline drive. A lot of contact, no call. Espinilla can't get the inside 5-footer. Back in transition, a left-handed 3 by Parati. Look at the contact. This game might be really physical tonight, Coach.
I wonder if just being senior night, you can see Burlingame doesn't look like in much of a flow. They're, they're short and, on some of their jumpers, and normally they've been of late they've shot the ball really well, and senior night sometimes a little different, trying to get into it and get the nerves calmed down.
The Vikings are head coached by Rick Hansen, now at his 10th year at Mills High School.
Taking over for Bobby Thompson.
The legend.
Yes.
Career record in league, 64-43 for Hansen.
Has some big wins in the playoffs.
Overall career record 157 and 115 at Mills. He also was at Aragon for 3 years. He went 24 and 47. So overall, his career record, 181 and 162.
He is one of the best young coaches, or he's one of the best coaches on the peninsula. Teams are very well disciplined.
Inside basket there by Will Dobson. You talk about the success of Hansen. Last year, 18 and 10, 2011, 16 and 9. There's Worku just on the line. They only give him 2. 2010, 21 and 8. 2009, 17 and 12. 2008, 18 and 10. 2007, 23 and 9. So winning season after winning season for Coach Hansen and his Mills Vikings. Backdoor play, nicely done to Chris Graham. 30 seconds left to go in the quarter. Panthers up by 3. Coach Hansen says he wants the last shot.
Get that last shot.
Game clock and shot clock are virtually identical. Worku gonna work the clock. Clock's at 15. Ball screen, Gibbs. Pick and pop. That's Nolan. 2 on the clock. Shot is blocked. Last second shot by House. Doesn't go. That's the end of the first quarter. 11-8 Burlingame on top. Springtime sports are on. We are very excited here at MCTV to be bringing you Mills Viking baseball. We'll actually be covering 2 games for them this year. How's that for expanded coverage? Our first game will be South City at Mills. That should be a good one. It happens on March 26th. Check out mctv.tv for scheduling information. You're an old baseball fan. South City, that might be a game you may want to check out.
South City, one of the storied programs on the peninsula.
We mentioned that Mills is in 3rd and Burlingame is in 1st. Some rankings according to Max Preps, one of the greatest high school websites ever created. Burlingame in Division III CCS is ranked 3rd. Mills is 5th. Number 1 SH or Sacred Heart Cathedral and St. Ignatius in the top 2. So you got 2 PAL county teams in the top 5 for Division III CCS.
Yeah, both of them, especially Burlingame. Burlingame played a tough preseason schedule, and with a new coach and a new system, they've only just improved. Their defense has been outstanding. They really haven't been challenged a whole lot in the PAL thus far.
You think they can get a top 4 seed?
I think they do. I think the PAL is very credible, and I think if you win the PAL, even if they don't win the PAL tournament, you got some very credible teams like El Camino and Half Moon Bay, and I think definitely
Westmore. Beating Hseih earlier.
Yeah, Westmore has been really the surprise of and it's going to make that PAL tournament very, very tough. You got 8 really good teams.
And don't forget about Aragon. And we don't know who that 4th team is going to be. It could be like a Carlmont, a Hillsdale, a Menlo Atherton, a Woodside. They're all in the running for it.
Yeah, you got Carlmont, who's a sleeper, and you got MA's right there. MA could come get in, and that's why I said Mills is concerned. Mills needs to win one of their last 2 games to secure a spot.
And this would be the jewel of them all if they could beat Burlingame at Burlingame. They only trail by 3 without their scoring star, Matty Wong, who's still on the bench. They're having to find some subs. There's a 3-pointer. That's a beautiful shot by Miguel Floro Cruz, the 5'7" senior guard.
That was good defense. There's nothing you can do about that. It's just a pretty good shot. Frustrating if you're from Burlingame.
Second 3-pointer of the night. I'm sorry, Drew.
That's okay.
For Burlingame, their second 3. Inside, they look for Hidalgo. It goes out of bounds.
Mills has had their opportunities early. Going to the basket, they've missed a couple of chip shots that they really need to stay in this game.
Also into the game, Ernest Mann for Mills. Coach Hansen going to try to find the right combination. There's Graham inside, blocked by both Adkins and Hidalgo. Ball stays with the Panthers.
Burlingame's are running their 4-out, 1-in motion offense, pretty much with 4 guys on the perimeter and their big guy posting up, and they begin some good opportunities in the post.
Three-pointer in the corner by Connor Howe. Boy, you can see why he's one of the top shooters in the county.
Both from out of bounds plays.
17-8, turnover Vikings.
This is a critical time in the game for Mills. They need to stay in the game. Good timeout by Coach Hansen.
We'd like to thank the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event. The Chamber of Commerce is a non-profit association that promotes and supports outstanding businesses in Millbrae. Local organizations and residents can join, and members receive discounts to the local businesses. If you'd like to join, contact millbrae.com or call 697-7324. 17-8 here on MCTV Sports. Alongside Drew Petiti, I'm Kenny Milch, and the Burlingame Panthers lead the Mills Vikings here in the second quarter, 17-8. If you're Coach Hansen, what type of adjustments are you thinking about making here?
Well, they've made a couple of threes that were actually pretty well defended. I mean, Howe just hit that one. He had a turnaround three. That was a tough shot. The top of the key shot, number 10, same kind of thing. You know, you just got to stay the course. You got to hope that offensively, you just can't turn the ball over. And you got to get good looks every time. And they're playing well. Lowe's on the bench. And, you know, that's a plus for Mills.
And Worku's going to need a little help. So far, he's got all 8 of the Mills points.
I've been very impressed with him. First time I've seen him, he's been very impressive.
That's Floro Cruz going against Nolan. Off the bench, that's Grant Goodman. There's Hout. He's human after all. Rebound to Adkins. Interesting, they put their center at the point, Mills does.
Well, if you can draw him out, then hopefully you can get some back doors, you can get some driving kicks, and I think that's what Mills is looking to try to do.
Give and go there with Espania and Worku, and a hold before the shot. Team foul now number 6. Mills still without a foul this game.
I think Mills moves the ball really well. They're very patient on offense. They just really, like I said, they got to stay the course. They have good shooters. They can get back in the game rather quickly.
Worker with a beautiful baseline drive. He looks as if he feels he can get his shot off anytime.
Well, he's going to the basket, and on that one, help defense was really slow for Burlingame.
Off the bench on the drive was Grant Goodman. Here comes Worku all the way. Good speed, but Floro Cruz knocks it out of bounds.
And that's one thing I think Mills can do. They can run. If Burlingame, and that's one of the things that Mills have been doing all year long. They have a really good fast break. They've got some very quick individuals, and they got some good shooters.
They look for Worku in the corner. One of their good shooters couldn't find him, so they back it out and run one of their many sets. High post entry, back door to Worku. Falls down and almost gets a rebound. So Mills comes up empty on that trip. Floro Cruz. Out top to Goodman. Back to Cruz. That's Will Dobson. Connor Hout. Cruz for 3. Can't get the roll. And it's Worku with another board. Nolan. Mills has to get some offense from someone besides Worku. It's 17-10. Burlingame leads, and Worku has all 10 points. And Worku just put his hands on his knees, which is usually a sign of fatigue. He hasn't come out yet. He's played a quarter and a half. This type of atmosphere, a lot of intensity, That's draining on a player.
And he has to take a big workload with Matty Wong not being in the game. And so, but I think Coach Hansen might be a little concerned because nobody else seems to be stepping up at this time. And you take him out, and he wants to stay in the game.
Coach Hansen grew up in San Bruno and in Burlingame. Went to BIS, Burlingame Intermediate School, and also went to Sahae High School.
He was a very good basketball player.
In fact, he beat Sahae in a CCS playoff game.
Mills is running some Princeton action.
That was back in 2007 when he beat Sahae. 54-51 in the quarterfinals.
One of the best wins that the program's ever had.
That was the second round. The first round they beat Lee. Reverse layup by Dobson. And then in the semifinals, the Vikings lost to Menlo Atherton by 16. That year, 2007, they were co-champs with Burlingame at 8-2 in the PAL Central Division. That was when it was split into 3. North, South, and Central.
Well, I like how it's gone back to geography or geographical. I think it's been much better for the league. You got games like this that have a lot of meaning.
Espinilla with a 3-pointer. I couldn't agree more. You get these great crowds, and you get TV coverage.
And this is a Wednesday game. This is like a Friday night atmosphere on a Wednesday.
Big 3 by Espinilla cuts the deficit to 6. Hop tries to take it to the hole, and Werku with an anticipation steal. Atkins, a real hustler on the team.
Burlingame is extremely physical. They play really tough defense, which makes it tough for Mills is they're not going to get a second shot. Burlingame does a great job of boxing out, and they do a great job of disrupting an offense like they're doing here. The good thing about Mills is they have players that can break you down.
Nolan with 2 seconds left on the shot clock. And Burlingame wins that battle for the board. There's Haupt. Minute 30 left to go until intermission.
This is a really important sequence for Mills to stay in the game.
Gibbs fouls Haupt. And that is the first foul charged against the Vikings here in the second quarter with just a minute 25 left. I don't know if I've seen a high school game where a team goes, what are we talking about, 14, 15 minutes or so, and they've committed just 1 foul. That's good defense, huh?
That is good defense. Coach Hansen sure is not going to complain about that.
There's a good look at Connor Haupt, senior team captain.
So they're going to rest him before halftime, taking off Connor Haupt.
Haupt, a very good free throw shooter on the season, 79%. 45 of 57 coming into this game. Done a nice job. Increases the Viking lead to 20-13.
Mills is still right in striking distance. They need a couple of good possessions here at the end of the quarter. They can feel pretty good about going into the second half.
Working the shot clock. Double team off that high ball screen he talked about earlier, Coach. Results in a turnover. There's Dobson, lowers his head, and he throws it up and in.
Burlingame invites you to the high ball screen. They love to trap it. They love to be aggressive.
They rotate real well out of that trap, too. They've adopted a lot of that WCAL defense, a lot of grabbing, a lot of holding, the physical play. And there's an offensive foul on Werku. Just when you think you got a backdoor, Floro Cruz with a great defensive play.
Well, that was a charge he did. He was set. But those are the kinds of things right before the half that you don't want. You got to get a stop now. You want to try to keep it within under 10 to the end of the quarter here for halftime.
Shot clock is off. Game clock reads 21. Burlingame can work for the last shot if they want it. Coach Hseih studies the clock, studies the pattern, and my guess is they'll try to go to Dobson. Here comes Dobson across the lane. They tried to get it to him, but they turned it over. 2 seconds and a left-handed desperation shot by Atkins. Doesn't go. We're at halftime. It's 22-13. Millbrae Community Television will be covering the Year of the Snake Lunar New Year Street Festival on February the 16th. So come out to experience this exciting day at 10 a.m. with stage performances, Golden Dragon and Lion dances, tons of good food, a ping pong tournament, and much more. The event is co-sponsored by the Millbrae Sister Cities Commission, the Peninsula Chinese Business Association, and the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce. Go to mctv.tv to see playback dates of when the show will air. We are halftime here at MCTV Sports. 22-13 is the score. Burlingame on top of Mills. We got a special feature for you coming up here at halftime. We're going to talk to the Mills head coach, Rick Hansen, and a couple of the Viking players. It'll be a nice treat. We'll take a short break after that and come back with the second half.
I'm Rick Hansen, and I'm the head boys basketball coach at Mills High School. Well, I started coaching at Mills in the early 90s. This will be my 10th year as varsity head coach. I played basketball at Sahae High School and also at Foothill College. My father and his twin brother were coaches and PE teachers locally. My uncle at BIS and father at Taylor Middle School. And even when I was playing at Sahae High School, I would come over to the middle schools and help them with their teams, and even started coaching a 6th grade team when I was about 17 years old, and I've coached at some capacity ever since. I think the one philosophy that I have is to play a good, strong man-to-man defense. I'm not saying that we play that all the time, but that would be kind of our base defense, and we spent a lot of time working on that. Coach Thompson, who was my mentor and previous coach, was very good in that department. I also spent some time coaching with Pete Hseih, the Burlingame coach, and he's an excellent defensive coach and mentor to me in many ways, as well as Coach Thompson. So we can be very explosive at times. It's probably the best three-point shooting team that we've had here at Mills in quite some time. I'd like to see us get a little stronger inside and rebounding, and also some inside scoring. And I think that'll come with time, as most of the big guys in the team are juniors. And a lot of times juniors will start to really improve toward the end of the season. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that happen. In order to have a successful game against Burlingame, I think we're going to have to control Connor Halp and Nick Lowe the best we can. Those are two very good players. And if we can limit some of the damage that they're going to do, and also we're going to have to be more efficient offensively than we had been in the first game. Well, the game of basketball is very special to me. I liked and participated in many sports growing up, but basketball was the one I think I fell in love with the most. And I really enjoy the teamwork and seeing a team improve, and also seeing individuals improve as well.
Hi, my name is Sereno Espinilla. I'm a senior and I play the forward position for the Mills High School basketball team.
Hi, I'm Matt Wong. I play for Mills. I'm the point guard. This year, we did good, but it's kind of a little bit disappointing. I wanted to take first. Took a tough loss to Burlingame the first time. We came back and then took a really tough loss to Sequoia, and then dropped another one after Aragon. But it's disappointing, but we'll get back out there, and there's playoffs left, so we got to concentrate on playoffs.
We had two really tough losses to Sequoia and Aragon. But we've had some really good games too. mentioning against Aragon, with our first game against them was at their place, and that was a really big win for us because it was in front of their crowd. So I think that gave us some motivation to have a good start to the season.
Coach is hard, especially in practice. If he sees something he don't like, he's not afraid to express it. He'll yell, scream, make us run some liners. But I mean, that's better for us because then it makes us go harder. I mean, you get a little mad at him, but we take that out on each other, so that's probably better.
He's really tough on us, especially in practice. If we're not going 110%, giving everything we have, he's going to let us know that. And I think that's really good because it makes us want to be better than we are, and it makes us want to work harder and improve as a team.
We definitely have a team of clowns, for sure. But when game time comes, we make sure we get focused. Especially Coach does a good job of that. Like, we joke around before, he's like, all right, focus on the game. We get in that zone, we focus.
Team chemistry, I feel, is pretty good. We always like to joke around with one another, so I feel like that, makes us comfortable with one another. That helps us on the basketball court, I feel like, because we were able to work as a team better because we can have trust in one another's abilities.
Well, I'm gonna miss the team camaraderie. Like you're playing with a bunch of friends, and then they become more than us, like family. This whole season, we get together, we have team dinners, we bond. So they're all my brothers. Like, I'll do anything for them.
One thing that's really helped me is the fact that hard work is gonna make you better. And it doesn't matter if it's in sports or if it's in academics or if it's in life. If you want to be successful, you got to work hard at everything you do to be a successful person in life.
We're back at halftime here on MCTV Sports alongside Drew Petiti. I'm Kenny Milch. Halftime score 22-13. The Panthers on top. Their defense was smothering and stifling, Coach.
But still, Mills is still in the game, and with a couple of opportunities that I felt they missed, I think it could be even a little bit closer. But again, Burlingame's defense has been really, really good. And this is even without Nick Lowe, who had 2 early fouls. And so I've been really impressed with Burlingame's defense, but also been impressed with Mills' Mr. Joseph Wuku. He's been phenomenal so far.
He led the Mills Vikings in scoring with 10, and the only other bucket was scored by Espinilla. He had a 3-pointer. There's a rebound putback by Mikel Floro Cruz. He's been impressive here for Burlingame.
Yeah, I think Mills tries to come out with a little bit of pressure. They left the guy back door, and Burlingame exploited it.
Loose ball foul. Charged to Tyler Parati. Burlingame got in some foul trouble earlier in the first half. Mills committed just 1 foul the entire first half. The rest of the scoring breakdown: Hopp had 9, Dobson 8, Flora Cruz had 3, and Graham had 2 for Burlingame. Lob pass inside to Gibbs. Gibbs trying to muscle something up, and it's a turnover. Gibbs, a junior, 6'3" transfer from Sarah. Low to Dobson, that's Hout.
Hout's being face guarded by number 24.
Espinilla. 3-point attempt, no good. Rebound Gibbs. That was Parati with that 3-pointer.
Now, we've talked about Burlingame's defense, but Mills, I think, has done a very good job defensively as well. Burlingame's hit a couple of tough shots.
That's Robert Nolan with a left-handed drive.
Well, they cut it within 10. Now it's a 9-point game.
As long as they can keep it in single digits, they got a shot. Espinilla wanted a charge, didn't get it, and he has to pay for it with a 3-pointer. Flora Cruz for Burlingame took a charge in that exact same spot in the first half, got the call, and then it was Espinilla in that same spot, but it was a different official, Eric Sitt, underneath, and he doesn't like to call that charge call.
And Hout made him pay, hit that 3-pointer. That's his 3rd 3 of the game.
He leads all scorers now with 12 points. And Burlingame's lead is 12. Worku has 10 of Mills' 15. Another foul. Barat. Here's Worku. Nice move, can't finish. Knocked out of bounds by Adkins. Earlier tonight, the girls' frosh soft team of Burlingame beat Mills 36-34. Both teams are now 8-2, tied for first in the PAL South. That's for girls' frosh soft. In the boys' frosh soft, Mills beat Burlingame 30-26. Mills got a good frosh soft team. They're 8-2, tied for second in the PAL South. Burlingame falls to 5-5. They're tied for fifth. That's Adkins with an outside shot, no good. In the girls' varsity, Burlingame beat Mills 43-24 tonight. The Burlingame girls varsity improved their overall record to 20-2, 9-1 in the South, led by their head coach, Bill Lepeltak. Mills girls varsity fall to 13-9 overall. They're now 7-3. Mills is still having a good year, but they were a little bit overmatched in that game. And in fact, one other note, Mills had beat Burlingame in the last 4 years every single time except for tonight. This is the first victory ever for this senior group of Burlingame girls over Mills, and they did it on senior night.
Coach Lepeltak said they were so excited.
Shot clock now at 15. Mills patient as usual. Gibbs for three. No good. Back comes Burlingame. In their white, moving right to left. Mills in red or scarlet and gold. Left-handed finish. Tyler Barati, 6'2" senior. Lead is up to 14.
And Burlingame at this moment is really in control. They can be as aggressive as they want. Mills.
That was Nolan who fell down and banged his head on the gym floor. He gets up, he's okay. Substitution for Nolan, Ernest Mann.
There's still a long ways to go. We still got a whole half a quarter in the third and some fourth quarter. Mills just got to be patient. Hopefully they can get a couple of open looks for three.
That's Adkins. Makes 17-footer. Nice shot. First bucket of the game for Marquise. 6'1" sophomore. Gets it to 12. Hout. Dobson. Barati. Tip by Lowe. First bucket of the game by Lowe.
Yeah, Mills didn't box out on that one. Lowe was able to just come right in.
Barati's been all over Worku here in the third quarter. Staying with him.
I think Burlingame's doing a really good job of getting out on Mills' shooters.
Adkins to Espinilla. Just a toe on the line, but he hits the shot nonetheless. His second outside shot, he's got 5 points. Lead back at 12 for Burlingame.
That's exactly what Mills needs. They need a lot of driving kicks. They get into the basket. That creates some openings.
Offensive foul on Lowe, that's his third.
Interesting to see if Coach Hseih will keep him in the game or not. He sat most of the first half because of his 2 fouls.
Coach Hseih in his first year at Burlingame takes over for Jeff Dowd. And he's done a fine job, Coach Hseih has. 14-7 overall, 9-0, first place undefeated in the PAL South. Nice three-pointer there by Ernest Mann, and we're down to 9.
Here's where Mills needs to be. Mills needs to stay within striking distance. They can shoot, they can get back in this game. Burlingame has to watch out that they don't get complacent.
Dobson to Parati. Really tough with that left hand. A lot of weapons for this Panther squad.
Yeah, and I think Mills at this point, they've got to be able to stop ball penetration. Burlingame's been able to get to the basket quite easily.
Gibbs for three. Got it. Back-to-back three.
Starting to light it up a little bit, Coach.
I'm sorry about that. Down to 8.
They're starting to light it up. A couple of games ago, they hit 6 threes in the third quarter, and
steal by Adkins. Here's Worku, and it's down to 6. Coach Hansen's group making a nice run, and there's a foul called on Espinilla with the reach. Coach Hseih takes over a Burlingame program that's won 8 of the last 9 PAL championships, 12 straight CCS appearances, 6 CCS final appearances. Timeout, Burlingame. We'll get back to that in a second. Let me read this short commercial. Since we have a short break in the action, we'd like to take a second to thank our underwriters again for helping MCTV to show local sports in Millbrae. Without them, this kind of programming would not be possible. If you enjoy this program or other programs on MCTV, consider becoming an MCTV underwriter. It's a great way to get your name on local television and to support the Millbrae community. For more info, contact MCTV at 259-2343 or send an email to mctv.tv. And Coach, we were mentioning all the accolades in the Burlingame program over the past decade or so. Tough act to follow for Coach Hseih following Jeff Dowd.
But he is no, he being a part of a Cappuccino, when he was at Cappuccino, he had a lot of success. In fact, made it to the state championship in the late 90s.
Spent 15 years as head coach at Cappuccino.
Very successful. Teams were well coached, very disciplined. Pretty much what you're seeing tonight.
That's Parati, and now it's low. Foul called on Adkins. You know, speaking of well coached, we talked to Coach Hseih before the game and talked to him about the Mills team, and Coach Hseih said, quote, Mills is extremely well coached. Rick is a good friend of mine, referring to Rick Hansen, of course, and has done an outstanding job with the Mills program. Coach Hseih went on to say, quote, they are an excellent shooting team and overall very well-rounded, end quote.
Well, they coached together about 10 years ago when Pete was at Cap, and it's interesting. He said he learned a lot of things from Coach Hseih, and we got a 7-point game here.
There's Worku from deep out there. That's about 25 feet, Coach. And it's a 4-point game with 30 seconds left to go in the third.
We thought Burlingame was in control, and all of a sudden here, Mills is turning up the intensity, playing with a little fire.
Low, underneath. That was Graham. 18 seconds, and the Vikings can get the last shot, cut the lead to 2 or 1 if they hit a 3. At 11, they run that double high screen. Worku pulls up from 3. Got it. 3 seconds on the clock. Floro Cruz. And the Vikings have come to life here in the third quarter and erased a 14-point deficit and now trail by just 1, 34-33. We'd like to thank the Millbrae Chamber of Commerce for sponsoring this event. The Chamber of Commerce is a non-profit association that promotes and supports outstanding businesses in Millbrae. Local organizations and residents can join, and members receive discounts to local businesses. If you'd like to join, contact millbrae.com or call 697-7324 for more information. We're back. on MCTV Sports. I'm Kenny Milch alongside Drew Petiti, the coach. And Drew, how has the Vikings got back into this game?
Just like they've done all season long. They can shoot the ball from the outside. I think the third quarter they hit 5 threes. First half they really, Burlingame was really all over them. They really get a whole lot of good looks, but all of a sudden in the last 2 minutes, they've hit like 4 threes, 5 for that third quarter. It's a 1-point game now. They put a lot of pressure on Burlingame. We're going to see how the first place Panthers respond to a little adversity.
Milch scored 20 points in that quarter. Here's Worku for another 3, and it's just a little bit short and off to the left. Rebound to Graham, and here comes Burlingame. Falling down is Hseih. Back the other way goes the Vikings. Have a chance to take the lead here after trailing by 14. Without their shooting star and leading scorer, Matty Wong, that's Espinilla with the jumper, and Mills takes the lead at the 7:25 mark. Not only have they done it at the offensive end with the 3 ball, they've played pretty good defense. Nice shot there of Espinilla and the little elbow jumper. Nice replay by our producer, or director, Andy Pitman and the MCTV Sports crew. Here at Burlingame High School, February the 6th, 2013. First place Burlingame. Graham for 3, can't get it to go. Third place Milch. Trail by 14 in the third quarter, and have fought back to take a 1-point lead, and they have the ball. Worku, and that's Adkins. Patience. Play number 1, says Coach Hansen. That's that double high screen. They shoot it over to man, and the pass is just a little high.
Burlingame looks a little flustered at this moment. They're not running their offense as crisply as they've been. Mills is playing with a lot of passion right now.
There's Floro Cruz. He ignites the crowd with another 3. And Burlingame back on top by 2.
Yeah, they've got the momentum. Mills has still got the momentum, but that was a very nice shot. Now Burlingame is up by 2.
Floro Cruz now has 8 on the night. Haupt has 12. He leads the way for Burlingame. Here's Worku. He's fouled by Floro Cruz, and Worku will go to the free throw line.
They're running that double high ball screen the last 2 or 3 times down, and pretty much they're just letting Mr. Worku just create, and he's been making very good decisions.
Worku misses the first free throw. He's averaging 15 points on the season, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Wong, the leading scorer, averaging 18 points and also 4 assists. He makes the second. It's a 1-point game. Burlingame lead. That's Barat. Dobson checked out. That's their captain. Out. His mom is the official scorer. That's Haupt. Tries to shoot it inside, but comes up short. Very nice lady. Haupt's mom. There's a 3-point attempt. Worku can't get it to go. Steal by Adkins. Tries to find man, and he throws it away. Connor's mom helps out at OLA. PPSL, of course, a great youth league where a lot of these Burlingame players, a lot of the Peninsula players get their start. Playoffs starting in March for the PPSL. 1-point game here at Burlingame High School. Inside, there's Haupt. Nice soft touch inside by the senior captain, and the lead goes to 3.
It's interesting to see how Burlingame, I don't think they've been challenged very much in the PAL, in the league play. So this is one of the first real tests that really they've really had so far since the preseason.
Gibbs with the penetration, and he's fouled and go to the line. You mentioned Burlingame hasn't been challenged much. They beat Cappuccino by 21. There was one close one there with Menlo Atherton. They won by 5. Beat Hillsdale by 17. Destroyed San Mateo. Beat Coralmont by 10. Beat Mills by 14 the first time they matched up. And there was another close one to Aragon by 3. Another Burlingame victory. Cappuccino big, Sequoia big. So you're right, only a couple fairly close ones, but they haven't been challenged in a little bit.
Well, Mills is in these kind of games, you know, pretty much the whole season here, and especially in league, and so they're used to this.
Gibbs, every free throw critical, knocks it down. It's back to a 1-point game. Burlingame tries to push it after the made free throw. Lowe back into the game with his 3 fouls. 4.5 minutes to go. Could go down to the wire, coach. There's Graham to Lowe. One big step and he's at the basket.
He's asking for a foul.
Warning against the white coach, Burlingame coach Hseih.
Well, the game is very physical. Nick Lowe thinks there is a lot of contact underneath.
3-point game. 4 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. There's Gibbs for 3. Doesn't drive, but there's Adkins again.
Do not hit the rim. Put the shot clock to 14, please. Right here.
Reset the shot clock. They're going to set it to 14. Three-pointer didn't hit the rim. Adkins done a great job on the boards tonight. He had 4 in the first half. Now with a total of 6. He's got the ball here. The sophomore.
The thing with
Go ahead. I'm sorry, coach. In transition, there's Hout. Graham with the putback. And there's Adkins with another board. Make that 7. Worku to the lane. A lot of contact. No call. Grant Goodman on the defense, and Burlingame gets the ball as well. Once again, Eric Sitt is down low, the official, and I think it'd be an understatement to say he's letting them play.
these refs are definitely letting them play, actually on both teams.
There's Lowe. Over to Hout. Goodman. Floro Cruz. 15 on the clock. 3:10 on the game clock. 3-point game. Big possession here. 8 on the clock. Flora Cruz from 3. Pushing it back on Gibbs. 3rd team foul against the Vikings, and Burlingame will have a fresh 35. Good defensive sequence by Mills.
But they didn't get the block out on Lowe. That was, I watched when the shot went up, but it doesn't hurt him.
Boy, that was a bad screen, no call.
The thing I'd be concerned about is Mills is so explosive, and that's right now what Burlingame's got to work really hard, because they know they can hit that 3, and they can score a lot in bunches.
Down by 3, less than 3 to go. Needing a 3 to tie it. Worku. Timeout, Coach Hansen.
I think that's a good timeout. I really sense that they were a little scattered at the moment. I think these possessions are really, really critical. They've been flowing through most of the game, good ball movement. Usually at the end of the game, though, they feel that they need to continue that, because they're putting the pressure on Burlingame. Burlingame's got a lot of pressure right now. It's their home, it's their senior night. They are in first place, and Mills is pretty much playing with house money here. And so this is we've got 21 seconds on the shot clock. I expect that double high screen again, let Wuku, make a play, see what he can get, see what he can create, and Burlingame needs to be out on their shooters.
2:45 left on the game clock. Trailing by 3 here on MCTV Sports. Atkins tries the back door. And now it's Gibbs. Shot clock at 6. A push off, no call. Working from 3. Rebound, Atkins again. His 8. Gibbs for 3. No good, rebound low.
Mills doesn't need to panic. They just need to play a couple of good possessions.
Rebounding foul goes against Espania. Burlingame ball out of bounds.
Mills needs to watch Connor Hout coming in again. He's hit 2 threes already.
Inbound play has really hurt Mills' defense. That time it wasn't Hout, it was Chris Graham, and now it's a 5-point game with less than 2 to go.
It's 8 points on out of bounds plays.
2 threes by Hout, and then that bucket by Graham. What play will Vikings run? It's the sophomore Atkins going to the basket on low. Timeout, Coach Hansen. We mentioned that it's spring sports time again for the high schools, and that means it's softball season, and MCTV is going to be there. We have a great matchup scheduled with the Mills Vikings hosting the San Mateo Bearcats on April the 12th. It's going to be a great game, and you can catch it only on MCTV. Check mctv.tv for scheduling info. Take a look at that replay. The drive by Atkins. Just a sophomore, Coach.
And Mr. Coach Hseih was not happy with the help. I felt they rotated really slowly, and he got after him on the bench there.
So with that Atkins bucket, the lead is now cut to 3. On the night for Mills, Atkins now has 4. Gibbs has 5. Worku's got 19. Nolan 2, Espania 7. And that's your scoring for Mills. Once again, we thank our statisticians, Julius Atkins and Nick Brokaw, doing a fine job for us here on MCTV Sports. Both their brothers in the Mills Vikings basketball program, both very good basketball players. And Julius Atkins, his older brother, just made that last basket. Good night for the Atkins family here on MCTV Sports. And a good night for the Broquas as the Mills Frosh soft team was victorious over Burlingame 30-26. And here we got another tight one, Coach, 43-40. Burlingame has the ball and a 3-point lead. Minute 42 to go, it's crunch time. Trapped by the Vikings, and they're gonna reach in foul on Nolan. Only their 5th foul though, not a bad foul. Good spot to take a risk, take a little gamble there.
Burlingame is very good in the trap. They pass the ball extremely well, and but I think at this, like you said, I think it is a good risk at the moment. But really right now, Mills doesn't really need to, it's a 1-possession game.
Low tries to dunk, and Worku went up, and that's going to be a technical. It's close to it because he hung on it and then he pulled himself up. You can hang on the rim like that, but watch, he pulled himself up there, and that's supposed to be an automatic technical. And the lead referee, Matt Diddy, put the whistle in his mouth. He was about to ring him up, and he decided he wasn't going to. Low makes the free throw, makes it a 4-point game. Timeout, Burlingame. If you're interested in purchasing a DVD of tonight's game, you can call MCTV at 259-2343 or send us an email at info@mctv.tv. To pick up a DVD that you have ordered, stop by our office at 621 Magnolia Avenue. We're just below the recruiting room at City Hall. Orders for pickup are $20 or we'll mail it to you for an extra $5. Here on senior night, it's not a bad purchase. So Lowe at the line with a chance to give Burlingame a 5-point lead. Lowe on the season from the free throw line, 69 for 110. He's a 63%er. Tonight, he's 2 for 3. Make it 3 for 4. So the Vikings, who trail by 14 in the third quarter, find themselves down by 5 here in the fourth with 1:30 left. Game still physical. Worku from 3 is off. They have forced that one a little bit quick.
They didn't need a quick basket. There's still 1:20 left. I just felt that I think they could have got a better shot, and I think Coach Hansen thinks the same thing. But Ruku has been very, very effective tonight, and he was one of the reasons they erased that 14-point lead.
Haupt goes to the free throw line. Once again, 79%er on the season. Misses the first. Ironically, he's 1 for 3 tonight. Worku with the spin. That's Man with a 3, and that's off. And Worku grabs, and we got a technical foul and a charge against Goodman. Goodman pushed him. If we got a replay, I'd love to see it. Worku with an aggressive foul, but you still can't push him like Goodman did.
Well, he retaliated, and Wuku's foul just was a regular hall foul. Could have been called an intentional foul, but Goodman just kept going after. The referee had to do something. They got to be in control of this game, especially at this point.
So Goodman will shoot the 1-and-1 for the foul that occurred at the other end. Makes the first, he'll get one more, and then we'll go back to the other side, and we'll see who Coach Hansen picks for the 2-shot technical. And of course, it's Worku.
It'll be interesting to see who gets the possession after I would assume Mills gets the ball out of bounds.
Worku on tonight. 4 of 7.
If he makes these 2, they come in and hit a 3. It's a 2-point game with a minute left.
Now make it 5 of 8. And 6 of 9.
Critical possession for Mills. They don't need a 3, but if they have a 3, that would really put the pressure on Burlingame.
21 points for Worku tonight. 5-point deficit. And the ball goes through Worku's hands. Man tried to find him, and he threw that ball way too hard. Worku was in a close proximity. So on the turnover, Mills is forced to foul. And more free throws now for Burlingame.
Mills has expended a lot of energy coming back from that 14 points. And look at this point, they press a little bit the last couple of possessions.
Goodman, 5 of 9 going into the game. Misses that free throw. He had just made 2 in a row, and they get the offensive rebound. A block shot by Gibbs, and here come the Vikings. Espinilla pulls up for 3. Shot is blocked. And a little bit of desperation, and there's still plenty of time, maybe a little more patience from this young Viking squad.
The last 3 possessions, I agree. I think they could have caught better shots. There's only 50 seconds left. They still didn't need to rush. But I think in transition, if you're going to get a 3, that might be the best opportunity. But Burlingame did have it well defended.
Out 1 for 3 tonight. Now make it 2 of 4. The lead is 6. senior with another one. The lead is now 7. Haupt's now got 16 points. There's Adkins for 3. Rebound, Flora Cruz. Give it to Haupt. Foul by Werku. If you missed any parts of tonight's coverage, you can catch replays of tonight's girls varsity game on Friday, February the 15th at 12 p.m. and tonight's boys varsity game on Sunday, February 17th at 12 p.m. For additional show dates and times, please check out MCTV's program schedule at mctv.tv. First free throw by Haupt is good. Lead is 8. One more, this could be pretty much over. (51-42), less than 40 to go. Werku from about 25. Espinilla still getting bumped. Ernest Mann. No good, rebound Haupt. And they foul again. So it looks like Burlingame is going to hold on for the win, and it could end up being the 9th of their last 10 PAL championships. The legend goes on. There are former players like Drew Schiller, Rodrigo Puliceno, Troy Colvin, Louis Obedi, Peter Papa George. Now it's Connor Haupt. They just keep churning them out here at Burlingame, Coach.
Yeah, they sure do. And the program that was really by Jeff Dowd, who really built this program in the early part of the century here. And Peter Amos now this year continues. You got to give it to Mills tonight, though. Mills really fought back. They're down 14. I really didn't know they could make a game with it, playing without their point guard. Showed some tremendous fire in that third quarter, and even in the fourth quarter, they got they took the lead.
Coach Hansen has done a great job also. He's got 2 co-championships and 1 tri-championship in his 10 years at Mill, and he's hoping that he can make the PAL playoffs. You mentioned it's got to win one of these last couple of games, maybe hope for some help, and maybe get that 4th spot, but even if he does, he's got to travel to El Camino, which is no picnic.
But if they get healthy, that's the big key. I mean, Matty Wong's got to get his ankle better. If he can get his ankle better, they can get some of these kids that have been sick come back. They're going to be a tough team to beat. They're very well coached. They can shoot the ball, as we saw tonight. And when you got shooters like that, you're always going to be in the game. They play very good defense. They're very disciplined. They're really hard to play against. But Burlingame does have a lot of fire. They have very talented. They play excellent defense. It was a great game tonight.
Final score 53-42. The Burlingame Panthers, with the victory, improve their overall record now to 15-7. They go to 10-0 in the PAL South Division. The Mills Vikings overall record falls to 13-9 and 6-4 in the PAL South Division. Run down the leading scorers. First for Mills, Werku ended up with 21, and Gibbs ended up with 5, Espinilla with 7, Nolan 4, and Adkins ended up with 4. For Haupt and Burlingame, he ended up with 17. Flora Cruz ended up with 8. Dobson had 8. Parati had 4. Lowe had 7. And Graham had 4. Those were the scores for Burlingame. Coach, any final thoughts on tonight's game, the upcoming PAL tournament, CCS?
Well, I think both these teams are going to be a factor in both of these, the CCS and the PAL tournament. Mills can be a sleeper. Mills can be very deadly. If you're not ready to play, they can just shoot you out of the game. But I think they do need to be healthy. But again, Burlingame is going to be very, very tough to beat. And I think even against El Camino is a very, very good team. But the presence of Nick Lowe in the post can really be a factor. El Camino doesn't have a lot of height. They have some tremendous players. But you get low down there, you can cause some real problems. Burlingame plays great defense, and it's not like they played some really good teams in the preseason, and so they're going to be really, really tough to play against.
It could be the battle of the Titans when it comes down to a week from Saturday night at Sequoia High School, where the GAL championship will be crowned. Last year it was El Camino. The year before that, it's been Burlingame, and these two are going to be probably top seeds in their division and will likely meet up for the championship. Once again, our final score, 53-42. The Burlingame Panthers defeat the Mills Vikings. I want to thank everybody here on our MCTV Sports crew, including our camera people, our statisticians, Andy Pitman in the truck, Randy Sahae also helping out. That's going to do it here for our broadcast tonight, our doubleheader. For Drew Petiti, I'm Kenny Milch saying so long. Good night, everybody.